Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and first a little disclaimer, sorry it's a little echoey in here. I'm visiting my brother for the week, so his house is very echoey all the time. And other thing, I'm sick, so sorry about that if I sound nasally at all. But let's get started and talk about this video. I really wanted to give my thoughts on this because I feel like you have to, right? X-Men vs. Batman. Just read Batman, obviously read X-Men, and I want to talk about what I think, which story did it right and which one did it wrong, or if they both did it right, which one I liked more, and kind of give the pros and cons. And I think both stories are controversial. I think both stories, you know, people are going to feel differently about them, and I've already seen that with X-Men. I haven't seen the reaction with Batman as much yet because it's just released, but both were also spoiled before the comic came out, both by the New York Times. But let's get into it. Batman. I'm going to talk about that first because that's the fresh issue, and then I'll get into X-Men. Batman, we get to see that Catwoman leaves him at the altar, kinda, or at the rooftop, really. And we see this love letter between the two, very passionate about their eyes. You can see my review about that. But we get to see because Catwoman loves Batman so much, that is why she leaves. For X-Men, it was because Kitty didn't love Colossus as much, and that is why she left. She felt comfortable with Colossus's love, but didn't feel like she could get married to him. With Catwoman, they both love each other, and she just believes that she doesn't want to ruin Batman. You know, she loves Bruce Wayne, she loves Batman, but she doesn't want to ruin the hero. She wants people to be saved, and she knows the importance of that. So it's this tragic love story, and isn't that Batman? Like, isn't that his story? It's always going to be tragic. So for me, it made a lot of sense that they did that. He's always going to have a tragic story, and that's what the cliffhanger is all about. His villains are always going to go out to get him. He can never be happy, even though he wanted to. His happiness is what brought him sadness, just like his parents. The people that made him so happy brought him sadness, and he finally brought someone into that closed shell, and that's what makes him break down once again. Is he going to really cut people out again after this? We'll have to see. So it all made sense to me, but why I liked X-Men more than I liked Batman, or at least I don't feel as betrayed as Batman, is because Batman built up the story a lot longer than X-Men. So X-Men, we definitely got to see, oh, you know, Kitty's gonna marry Colossus, but there weren't as many issues focusing just on Colossus and Kitty, because it's an X-Men book. So yeah, you know, Kitty was a lot in the forefront, but we got story with Rachel, we got story with Nightcrawler, we got other stories to kind of keep you occupied, where it's not just Kitty and Colossus. With Batman, it's just Batman. So really the last 12 or probably 12 plus issues have been about their romance. It's been, oh, let's get the dress, let's do the bachelor party, let's do 6 prelude issues before. There was a lot more prep to this wedding than X-Men. So also one thing I liked about X-Men more is that you kind of get the traditional wedding issue, even if you don't get the actual wedding. And I actually liked the surprise in X-Men that they didn't end up getting married, because there was a marriage in the end. It was Rogue and Gambit. We actually did get a marriage in the end. So, but I also like the, hey, you know, the X-Men hanging out, having dinner, getting drunk, Kitty interacting with her mother figures. These things you see in regular weddings, and you see in wedding stories and wedding comic books. So I like the tradition in X-Men Gold in that regard. In Batman, we don't get to see Batman interacting with his loved ones besides Alfred, which I actually, one of my favorite scenes of that issue is Batman hugging Alfred and saying, I'll always need you. I can't imagine a life without you. And you get to see this father-son hug that just means so much. And that's the one person Batman will always let in no matter what. And I love that moment, is that it's Alfred that is there. So I enjoyed that, but I wanted to see more of the Bat family. I wanted to see Batgirl and Dick Grayson and Superman, and it kind of that traditional wedding issue in some ways, where I feel like we missed out. And even if we got that and not the wedding, at least you would feel kind of the wedding feels you usually would have. So that's why I think it's a little bit on the negative side here that they go the untraditional route, and then obviously the wedding doesn't end up happening. So those are my thoughts. I just feel like Batman, in some ways, I understand why they go that route, but why I'm a bit more disappointed in that one, because I feel like King's Run was building to this happiness. That's what we were there for. I wanted a new direction for Batman, because this is a character we've seen forever. We've had so many issues about. I wanted to see a new direction for his character. But I do think we'll get to see some entertaining stories with this. For X-Men, I think it made sense for Kitty's character. I think it made sense for both characters why Catwoman did what she did. I think Catwoman switched her opinion a lot quicker than Kitty. I think for Kitty that made a lot more sense for her to make that opinion. Just knowing her character more, I think that her decision made a little bit more sense. I think for Catwoman, like Holly said one thing, and Holly's relationship with Catwoman is not as strong as Illyana and Kitty's relationship, so that moment felt a little bit stronger to me. So for me personally, I liked X-Men Gold more. I got out of the wedding stuff a little bit more. I got more out of it with that issue, and I understand their motives a little bit more in X-Men Gold. Maybe because I am a hardcore Kitty Pryde fan. I am also a really big Batman fan. So, but yeah, Batman, still a really solid issue. I understand why they went that route. But if I had to pick a winner, it was X-Men Gold. I could see people just not liking either, or liking Batman more. I don't know. But please let me know in the comments below what were your favorites and, your opinions, because this is a controversial weddings, really. Wedding issues. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links to my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.